What's going on, guys? For today's video, we're going to be going to a rag house in Los Angeles for the first time. We're going to be taking you guys behind the scenes. We're going to show you kind of how the whole operation works. We're going to give you our overall thoughts on everything. Obviously, we're going to show you everything we buy. We'll talk about how much we paid for it, and yeah, just the whole ordeal. Let's get right into it. This specific place had a couple options available. You could get a $50 bale of just mixed up clothing, men's, women's, children. You could get a $100 bale, which is what we got here, which is supposed to be more like sweaters, maybe jackets, more like outerwear, stuff like that. Or they have a $160 t-shirt bale, which is like they have two options for that: an all-white bale and a colored bale. So definitely interested in trying out all three options. We started off here with the $100 bale, which again was more sweaters and outerwear, and we did grab some pieces out of here. So let's get to digging. Here we have a nicely faded Big Dog sweater. I believe this was a big size, like a 4XL or something. Solid pickup, should be good for 20-25 bucks. We found this oversized full zip Brandy Melville hoodie. We already sold this on Whatnot for like $7 or something. Nothing crazy. This next find really got the blood flowing. We got ourselves a, not vintage, but an older Stussy hoodie. Very cool. Didn't expect to find this in the bale. Pretty exciting. It is very distressed, very faded. Like kind of in a bad way, but kind of in a good way, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, pretty cool hoodie. Even in this condition, should be good for right around 30-35 bucks. Could be worth even more if it was older, even in this condition. Next up, we have this roller coaster of emotions right here. Very solid brand here. Cannot believe somebody cut this sweater in half up the middle, trying to create a cardigan or something. This was a nice reformation sweater. Again, somebody totally wrecked it, so we did end up leaving that. We thought this would be an okay pickup here, but after further review, it was covered in stains. And that's one thing I would say about my experience at this rag house, is that a lot of the stuff, obviously this is like the end of the line for clothing, so a lot of the stuff is damaged, it does have stains, so definitely be very thorough. I will say also with that, a lot of stuff looks very like in rough shape, compressed and dusty just to being in the rag house. After we came home and washed everything kind of like refluffed, came back to life, and the colors, kind of got a little richer. So there's definitely both sides to it. Make sure you're looking out for stains, but if stuff's just a little dusty, a wash and dry will can bring some life back into the items for sure. All right, we found some pretty cool stuff. Here's an update. This is just a nice Nike kids sweatshirt. Here we have some Nike adults sweatpants, and we did find a little rip on them right here, a little tear. Boom, got rid of those. Here we have some more Nike sweatpants. Nice condition, just a little faded. We'll grab those up. Here we have, what brand is this? Offline by Aerie. Nice and soft. We usually sell those over on Whatnot. Here we have an absolute banger. Let's go. Supreme. This is from the 2014 collection, I believe. There's currently two listed on eBay for around 400 bucks, and then you have mine listed at right around 250. Almost caught the dude with the sweatpants. Those are some Lulu sweatpants, but they were wrecked. Here we have a very clean Gymshark hoodie. This will do well over on our activewear show. We could probably get at least 20-25 for that. Very cool Undefeated sweatshirt, classic graphic logo, and then a very cool M&M Marshall Mathers LP green hoodie. I've never even seen a piece of Marshall Mathers LP apparel like that. Pretty cool. Here we have a Lily Pulitzer. This sold right away on eBay for right around $30. I think we listed it for $28. Sold right away. Free People hoodie. I believe this sold already on Whatnot. Probably in the like $10 ballpark. Here we have Russell Athletic. I believe we ended up leaving these. These had some blemishes. And oh, look, it looks like they're cut at the bottom. I'm not sure, but something was wrong and we left them. Here's the other pair of Lulus that we found. They're also wrecked. So yeah, we did end up leaving both pairs of those Lulu pants. Here we have just a nice basic Volcom Henley shirt with a cool pattern on the pocket. But here we have a very good brand. The brand is Ibex, and here's the logo. It's like a little deer head thing. These can be really, really solid. Unfortunately, these were really beat up. We did leave them, but just good to see the brand out here coming up, popping up. Here is a very nice graphic Levi's sweatshirt in a men's 2XL, I believe the size was. And just a really, really good graphic, good timing. Happy to pick that up. All right, so we are about 65, 70% of the way done. Here's a little cart update. We got the vintage Made in USA jerseys, sweatpants. We've got the Yale Bulldogs cropped long sleeve on the Yale tag, I believe it was. Here we have a Young, Fabulous, and Broke sweater. Here we have a vintage on the heavy Hanes tag. Mammoth Mountain, California hoodie. Very nicely faded throughout. Here we have what appears to be Lulu. What is this? Patagonia. Let's go. Patagonia leggings. UCLA Bruins. Vintage for sure. Vintage crewneck sweatshirt. Very cool find. And last but not least, this Halloween edition Lilo and Stitch sweater. Sold for $5 over on Whatnot. It took a little under 2 hours, and we have made it to the bottom of the bale. Here is the last little piece of the haul. Majestic Filateurs is a brand that can be pretty good. Even their basic little shirts can sell for 20, $25. Definitely one to look out for. Offline by Aerie. This is a brand we like to sell over on Whatnot for the activewear shows or even the casual shows. This is a pair of Tommy Bahama wide leg pants, women's pants. Should be pretty good. This is a Nightmare, what is it called? Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack and Sally hoodie. I think we sold this for $11 over on Whatnot. This one's sold. This is pretty solid. Amy Leon Dior, I believe, is the name of the brand or how it's pronounced. Some fancy designer brand. I think we listed it for $80, and it did sell pretty quickly for $64.95. Beautiful little find here. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Amy Leon Dior or something like that. Amy ALD. So at the end, we pulled around 30 pieces from that bale that we paid $100 for. So for the second bale, we tried one of their $50 miscellaneous bales. And yeah, let's see how it goes. We're getting through that second bale. Here's a little cart update. There we have an RVCA hoodie. Those are usually good for right around 20, 25, depending what you have. Little Lulu looked like a Swiftly Tech top. Here we have a knit quarter zip Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. This one was a little worn, but I did trade it off to a buddy of mine. This is a Woolrich full zip men's sweater jacket thing. Pretty cool, good size. This was, I believe this is supposed to be an expensive brand, REISS, Rice. I'm not sure how to even pronounce it. This is a banger right here, a piece of smart wool with no holes or nothing. Awesome find there. Some Joe's jeans. These are pretty expensive. They're sold at Nordstrom. They are not cheap. This was a loft. I think we ended up leaving that. We were going to see if we took it to Whatnot, but I think we did end up leaving that. This is a just a starter blank, an older starter blank. This is also same thing, a vintage little sweater. That starter blank and that vintage sweater we traded off to a buddy at the bins. This was a lookup, Luca Nobly or something like that. It was nothing. This was a primitive hoodie. I believe primitive. No, it's not primitive. Naruto with Hypeland or something is the brand. That was for my sister. Here we have Under Armour The Rock collab. Solid find here. Those are seem to still do okay. They're not as great as they used to be, but they seem to still sell pretty well. Here we have some cargo shorts, some Levi's cargo shorts. Can't go wrong with that. We took a chance on this. It kind of flopped over on Whatnot. The brand is William B. After getting it home, we did realize it had a blemish on it. I think it ended up selling for $5 or something. Here we have a Florida A&M sweatshirt by Mitchell & Ness. Pretty solid. Here we have a Columbia Kids jacket. I believe we ended up leaving that one. The logo on the chest was falling off. I didn't even see what that was. I don't even remember what that was. This vintage California Mammoth Lakes. We traded that off to a buddy. This older Nike baseball shirt on a graphic printed tag. We did just end up leaving that one. Some Sanctuary pants. Those sold over on Whatnot. I don't remember for how much. Probably, hopefully around $10. This was one of the best pieces at this bin. It's very, very nice Columbia jacket. Men's, was it men's medium? Yep, men's medium. Beautiful color, beautiful condition. Very cool. Probably like a $40 piece, $35 piece. Vintage Yale Gymnastics. This one definitely needed an oxy bath. Traded that over to a buddy. American Eagle. I believe these sold for $20. I believe we listed these for $19.95 and they sold within a couple of days for $20. Here we have a pretty nice, beautiful color and a great size 2XL Nike full zip hoodie. on a nice like technical feeling kind of fleece. Very cool. We'll get this listed up if we haven't already for like 25 bucks. We got through that second bale pretty quickly, so we had time to get one more of those $50 bales. Some more pieces coming out of it. Here we have a vintage St. John's Bay fleece, like full zip or half zip, whatever that was. Sweater jacket, pretty cool. This is a pair of Old Navy like wide leg pants my wife is gonna try on. This is a fancy brand. I believe it's a Lafayette 148. I believe we did end up leaving that one due to being like a little too faded. Here we have some Under Armour shorts. We really do not pick up women's Under Armour, but we're gonna try it for the activewear show. These have like a shorts liner under, pretty cool. This is a Zara men's shirt. We already sold this for right around 20 bucks. Sold quickly in about a day or two. Zara men's stuff. Those button-ups seem to be pretty hot. This is a Out From Under, which is an Urban Outfitters brand, which is like an Anthropologie brand. Little bra. The next piece is from the brand Elodie. Nothing crazy, but I believe it is sold at Nordstrom, which is a fancy store that sells pretty fancy brands. Here we have a Under Armour graphic tee. Get that listed up for 17 bucks or so. Here we have a vintage, I don't even remember the name of it. I think it said Christopher Hayes, like chunky cable knit almost sweater. Here we have a very nice condition Eddie Bauer full zip hoodie in a men's extra large, I believe it was. Pretty cool. Should be good for right around 20-25 bucks. And right behind that we have a Lululemon men's like medium black tank top. Very nice condition as well. We absolutely smashed through that third bale. Here is the final haul from that. This is a Uniqlo J.W. Anderson top. Should be good for right around 20 bucks. Here we have a vintage Russell Athletic blank shirt. Here we have a nice North Face jacket. Unfortunately, it did have a big logo embroidered on the chest. It'll still sell, just for a couple bucks less. Chico's is a brand we basically never pick up, but this was kind of a substantial piece with all these little embellishments and stuff, so we took a chance on it. We found one of these, I believe it's the Mountain Howling Wolf, like graphic tee. Classic graphics, should do well. Here we have an Adidas crewneck sweatshirt, not one, but two Adidas crewneck sweatshirts. Both in pretty nice condition, both different sizes. Abercrombie and Fitch pants, I forget if those were men's or women's, either way, happy to grab those. Here we have a pair of Nike shorts, women's like athletic style shorts. Cool little pickup, we'll run these over on Whatnot. And that was our first trip to the rag house in the books. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Would you guys visit a rag house? Have you visited a rag house? Was it a similar experience? Was it a different experience? Again, it was our first time. We really didn't know what to expect. Overall, was not a bad time. We did find some pretty cool pieces. The Stussy, the Supreme, the Amy Leon Dior. Those are the three that I'm thinking off top that were some like the best pieces. That crazy Columbia jacket, the vintage UCLA Bruins sweatshirt. Yeah, some cool pieces for sure. Nothing insane, but some cool pieces for sure. Again, another viable option to source inventory for sure. Again, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate you guys watching to the end. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.